happening? It's episode 49. How are we?
Good.
Tired and weary.
Naughty. Yeah, it's Wednesday. If you're watching it, as it just came out, we're doing a little trial this week, so you can have a nice preview to the Scotland game. So yes, we're recording this a bit early this week, but this means that there is some bonus content coming out on Friday. So keep your eyes peeled. Yeah, we hope
Hopefully.
So keep your eyes peeled for that.
If Scotland lose, we might not bother.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how we'll see.
Yes.
So right, let's get into it. Notable results from the weekend. I'm still raging. Queens were awful, and I mean
Was
awful.
it that bad?
From what I remember, yeah. It was pretty bad. I mean, Kyle didn't have any J2 before he went, so you could probably give a more in-depth analysis.
In-depth is a strong word. It was just terrible. But really, really terrible.
In terms of just what's going wrong, because obviously I've not seen Queens for quite a while now. The last Queens game I've seen was Aaron at home, and it was a really good performance. If the first half was bad, the second half was really good. So what is going wrong?
Ambrose on the bench again.
I think it's a team shy of confidence and injuries.
Yes. It's the team shy of 8 first-team players.
Still should be winning these games though.
We should, but if you take 8 first-team players out of any team, I mean, if you take them out of Rangers, it probably improves them. If you take them out of any team, they're going to struggle.
Yeah, but one of my points was I think there's a lack of consistency, but that's probably down to the injuries. Yeah, big Gordo Bottle back in goals again this weekend. It
is, and is there a reason for that? Did we find out a reason why it was Bottle and not Stone?
Maybe just form.
Not too sure.
Possibly, but you don't really drop your goalkeeper.
Well, that's what I was saying. And maybe. I don't have a great chant for Gordon Bottle, but I do for Harry Stone. So
maybe trying to juggle them, keep them both happy.
Yeah, you really shouldn't be doing that.
It's never going to work. This is where I feel Arsenal are going to kind of fall with. They're trying to play Raya and Ramsdale.
I don't think they will. I think they'll just play Raya.
We'll see. Anyway, back to Queens. Not looking good, Brev. I don't know. Bartley's on thin ice, I think.
Any manager who's lost 5 in a row would be on thin ice.
Well, that wasn't wrong though.
At least 3 part-time teams.
Yeah, there are questions. Can the board afford to sack him?
We definitely looked like the part-time team.
Can the board afford not to sack him?
I thought the board were quite minted.
We can't say he wasn't back because the board have backed him.
They have. But we've got a lot of young players and Effie Ambrose.
He's just going to sign all his pals, isn't he?
I think it's a case of he needs to get them playing the way he says he wants to very fast. But
he had a pre-season to do that.
And he did well in the pre-season. That's what I was speaking to folk earlier on. They were like, I thought it was a good start. It's like, yeah, we got a draw against Motherwell. We beat Queen's Park away. And it just went...
They lost to East Fife though.
Yeah, true.
It has, but how much of that can you put down to injuries?
Just have the squad depth, then, shouldn't they, for being a full-time team?
Well, yeah, we should. The question is, why aren't the people coming into the team doing well? Is it time to give some, like Ross Irvin scored? How many for the reserves when you were there, Robert? 2?
At least 2.
So yes. Why aren't we giving him a chance?
I mean, I don't think it's the worst idea in the world.
That Dockery's been quite good off the bench the last 2 games.
Good, and eventually in time, I think he probably will be fit enough. It's just... The question is also, what's causing these injuries and how can that be stopped? Because we're a full-time team, it shouldn't be happening. We should have the staff to prevent and deal with them.
Yeah, well, that's what I did think as well. Sorry,
and if it is the case, we know that like he wants a high press and he wants an energetic team. We've seen that at the end of last season, and the squad really responded to it.
Yeah.
If it is that's causing the injuries, then maybe he needs to have a think about his methods. Because he is a young manager and he will get things wrong.
It's just constant trying to play out from the back, like persistent with playing out from the back. And
he's got a big striker Hutchinson.
Yeah. I mean, it's like very much so, like every time it has to be out from the back and it's kind of killing the defence.
But there's nothing overly wrong with that if the defence are skilled enough to do it, but it seems like you're saying they're not.
Yeah, that's what the point I'm getting across.
Some are, some aren't.
Just to add, I know it's probably not. It's the league below, but Michael Ruthu was he with us last season? Or was it the season before?
Last season.
He is 2-2 in League Two. No, sorry, he scored in back-to-back games. For Dumbarton, I believe he's at.
Are we actually in a risk of going down?
No, I don't think we're going down, but I was hoping playoffs. I didn't think we were going to win the league. I probably said it at the start, but realistically, we knew we weren't going to win. I think the predictions I did actually say we were going to win, but I think that was just kind of put my pride first.
I think I said Falkirk, so I think I'm fine.
Was the same.
The fourth, even it should be third. If there's 3 full-time teams in this league, we should be in the top 3. It's that simple.
It's 4. Cove.
Oh, Cove. Yeah, Cove are doing worse than us.
So Edinburgh.
It's the demise.
Actually, are Cove doing worse than us now? Did Cove, because Cove won at the weekend, does that not put Cove above us now?
Let's just see, shall we? Continue.
I thought, because I know Annan would go either level on points or above Queens if they had won at the weekend. They didn't, but Cove are in a very similar position.
Cove are 6th, we're 7th.
Yeah, so Cove have now gone above us. We are now the worst full-time team in the league.
Yeah.
And that is a sad state of affairs. There's been a lot of discussion on fan forums for Queens that they want the board out, but because I have to agree, there is no ambition at the club. But the thing is, there's not a big line of folk who wants to replace them, and that's the issue I think we're in right now.
And as we've seen with Falkirk, especially in this league, that fan ownership is not always the answer. You know, look at Falkirk; they're still here. They're probably going up this year, but they've been here for quite a while. As we also seen from Falkirk, a club in proper disarray can be in this league a while. And I think we can now say we are a club in disarray. We're rotten from top to bottom.
Yeah, I don't think anyone can dispute that.
You mentioned Arsenal a minute ago. I wanted to highlight Arsenal from the weekend. Fantastic performance, I thought. I don't know if either of you've seen it.
Seen the second half.
I think Arsenal nullified Man City. You know, that's Man City. If you ignore the Champions League, if you look domestically only, they've lost 3 on the spin. Really miss Rodri. Jorginho and Rice in that midfield for Arsenal absolutely dominated that space, I thought. Kovacic. Rodri's banned, so I think he's back this weekend.
21st is back, according to FPM.
Yeah, so sorry, not this weekend, it's international, but this weekend,
game
so
week.
it'll be next Premier League game, yeah. The Kovacic, I thought, was very lucky to stay on the pitch. If anyone missed that in the first half, I thought the first tackle was very close to being a red, and then he got away with one immediately after.
They sent Jones off for the same thing, so.
A very lucky boy. They did. No, Jones's is different. Jones's is very different.
Stood in his ankle.
Kovacic's is from behind, whereas Jones's is like an over the top of the ball. Jones, you know, it's one of those that's a heavy touch, goes in and ends up over the top of the ball. And they are the proper leg breakers. See Aaron Ramsey for the example of that back in the day with Ryan Shawcross. That is a leg breaking tackle. The ones from behind aren't as dangerous, and I think we can say it's between yellow and red, but I don't think it's the same as Curtis Jones.
If it's not a yellow, it should be a red, simple as.
I think it was a red.
The one after it was ludicrous and all, but...
The one after it, yeah, it was a second booking. There's no way about that.
So it should be sent off, end of.
Yes, Kyle. Tottenham, on the other hand, Big Ange has still not lost a home game in Britain. I heard that fact at the weekend, either with Celtic or Spurs, and they're top of the league.
I was thinking we beat them in his first Old Firm, but that was at Ibrox. So,
yes, that is, you know, the Postecoglou revolution. I gambled this weekend on some James Maddison getting more points than Erling Haaland in fantasy football. We'll see if that paid off later, but it was a nice wee assist for James Maddison.
Yeah, I'll update you on that. I've got all the notes for that later on, but we'll come to that last.
Well, they're joint top and goal difference and whatnot. But
talking of Tottenham as well, I don't know if anyone saw Yves Bissouma second yellow. It's quite enjoyable as a dive to watch. It's a bit stupid to be on a booking and then do a dive, and it's not a good one. It's really bad.
No, I've never seen that. I need to look it up actually. I'm not really caught up on the highlights this week. I have to admit, hold my hands up.
What you have caught up on though is Scotland.
Yes. Now the squad is out. Obviously.
Is this the week? Is this the week?
I hope so.
I hope so. In my heart, Thursday night. Realistically,
Sunday.
I think it's going to happen on Sunday.
I take it as Spain-Norway on Sunday. I take it.
Yeah. So, Scotland. Wait, I've got the notes. I think it's a Scotland win.
Yeah. Scotland need to get a point from 3 games.
Yeah.
And Norway need to win all 3.
Yeah. So draw or win against Spain, we're through. If we lose against Spain, then if Norway draw or lose.
Yeah.
Against Spain, there we go through. So surely
it's on.
Surely
it's on. And if not, then it's away to Georgia to seal it. Don't have a great record there.
No, I'd rather get it done this weekend.
So would I, because it's away to Georgia and then home against Norway. And the one thing that you can guarantee on Scotland fucking up is a must-win tie to go to the Euros at Hampden.
Well, we'll all be there because we have tickets.
We will be there.
We will make sure that
get
we're
our
updating.
reaction from that.
It would be magic to be there for when they qualify though. If they did it against Norway, that would be magic.
I think that last game, if we're qualified, will just be an absolute party at Hampden.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'd rather be safe. And to be honest, we've already booked our flights and hotels for Germany anyway, so because we know we're going through. Please don't clip that if we. Nah, we don't.
We know we're going through.
Yeah,
and if not, we know Wales are likely to have a playoff against maybe Estonia. Actually, they're not even in the space for a playoff at the minute, so I'm going to shut up. I've just realised they're 4th in their group.
You don't need to worry. We're going through. Greg? We'll go to you first. What's your thoughts on the squads then? On the squad. We'll read it out quickly. It's very much
to read it out.
The same every time.
It's very much the same, yeah.
Yeah, it is like that. That is the surprise is there isn't a surprise, and I don't think that's. I've said that, and I don't know if the fact there's no surprise is actually surprising.
You just got yourself tangled up here. Jacob
Brown being in there is one that I raised an eyebrow at.
Stuart Armstrong.
He's always there. He's in a good run of form. Has he not scored 2 and 2 for Southampton? I believe he definitely scored at the weekend for them.
I don't know.
Reliable servant. That is what you want. Knows the country. Like, he knows what he's going for.
It's still weird seeing Jack Hendry Al Ittifaq.
See you soon.
See you soon. Who else now? Everyone's pretty much like you knew it was going to happen. Notable Ryan Jack pulling out of the squad. Don't think there's been a replacement named yet.
Elliot Anderson.
Ryan Gold.
Elliot Anderson.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Do it, Elliot. I mean, the fact he's not been named in the squad says all you need to know.
Yeah.
I reckon if we qualify for the Euros, Anderson will decide he's committing to Scotland so he can play in it.
I don't think he should. I don't think they should if they've not played in the qualifiers.
Barnes has been great for Newcastle, but I have serious doubts as to where he fits in this system.
He's also injured till next year, so.
Who?
Barnes.
Oh. Is he?
I didn't realise it was that bad. I knew it was bad. I didn't realise it was that bad.
Like 2 months on it, so.
I don't think it was that
true. We've got.
Obviously EAFC 24 is out. I was managing Scotland in my career mode, and I was managing at the Euros, and I think we were about 2 games in, and then it's obviously you start the new season, and Liam Cooper retired from the squad halfway through the competition.
So this happened to me on a previous version of FIFA, which clearly it doesn't take career mode seriously. Never mind international management on career mode seriously. But previously it called up a completely different squad for me halfway through, like when that happened.
Suppose if you weren't doing very well, then it would support you.
But it called up a completely different squad, and I was playing like 5 at the back, and it took away half my defenders.
Must not like you very much. So who does replace Jack then? Who does replace Jack?
Anderson.
Right. I don't know. Well, apart from him, because I don't think he's coming.
I think anyone.
So I
Take
sat.
Cool.
I was going to say I sat about this for a while, and do you know what? I don't know.
No, I mean neither. We'll leave that to Steve Clark. He's got everything else right so far.
Maybe Josh Doig if he's not on the team. Can't see his name. No,
yes,
midfielder,
but I will also say I heard on a European football podcast that Lewis Ferguson is tearing it up for Bologna this year.
I've seen some of his highlights.
Playing a bit further forward, Juventus interested in him in the summer. He is going to the top. The future of that midfield is Ferguson and Gilmore.
Yeah.
I always thought Ferguson was all right. There was a lot of shouting for him to be signed by Rangers when they were, but obviously it was the same old he's an Aberdeen player.
Yes.
But you see how Hickey's done. He went to Bologna and then Brentford. So,
yeah.
Aye.
Spain, obviously.
They'll be out
it's
for
going
revenge.
To be a difficult place to go.
They'll be out for revenge. They want payback.
Pedro Porro wants playback. I know Lamine Yamal, the young lad. Playback, yes.
I was going to
Lamine Yamal has been dropped from the Spain squad, the 16-year-old. So he is not going to be playing. Even though he scored on his debut against Georgia. I'm trying to find the rest of the Spain squad. I can't quite find it.
Just going to say interestingly before we jump on that there's no Tierney. He was quite good last time against Spain.
Injured.
Yeah.
Bit of a gutter.
Have we discussed this? I think we have. Does Clark go a back four if Tierney's injured?
May as well.
I don't think he does against Spain.
No, I think how well it worked last time. But who plays in that defence then in a back five if
that's why again that becomes the question, doesn't it?
Surely obviously Robertson, you got Hickey on the other side.
McKenna left-footed.
McKenna, Hendry and Cooper.
That's what I was thinking.
The thing is, you don't
I take that back. Porteous probably played. Porteous played well last 2 times.
That would be probably McKenna, Hendry and Porteous for me.
Yeah, aye. Cooper out, Porteous in.
You do not get the disadvantage is you do not get that overlap between Robertson and Tierney doing that. But I think that's less important against Spain. Like fundamentally, this is going to be a backs to the wall performance again, and nick a goal.
And from the weekend, I think it just shows how important the McTominay is going to be for us as well again. Grabbing 2 goals for United. 87th minute was it? He came off.
He scored both after 90.
Yep. So it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a tough window. We've obviously got France and Lille after that. Lille, the pitch will hopefully have recovered from the rugby. It wasn't looking too great the other night.
My question is, how does Clark approach that friendly? Do you think
I don't think it matters.
Yeah, do you think he goes in with a I don't care? It's
it'll be like England.
Do you think he tries to show, like, kind of put England behind us and then go, right, we can compete with the big boys?
It'll be the best squad he can put out, but ultimately the result doesn't matter. It's the performance that really matters. Like, yes, the result against England was disappointing. There were bits of the performance that looked good, and that's what's important.
Yeah.
This France side are a good side.
100%. Big Mbappe leading the line.
But as it's proven, you can keep him quiet. If Dan Burn can keep him quiet,
only if you've got Dan
so
Burn.
can anyone else.
Aye. No, let's go. You know what? Let's talk about that because we never talked about it last week because it was 1-0 at the time.
It was 1-0 at the time, actually. I never even got a chance. I never even got a chance to say, sorry, Ash, you were right. Newcastle United, what a team.
I couldn't quite believe the final score, but it was honestly well deserved.
Neither could I. You see, it's that last goal. You see Shea. Obviously, he wins the ball, plays the 1-2, and it comes back to him. And you go, he's going to absolutely thunder this. And he slips, and it still goes in the most Fabian Shea goal of all time. And it's just phenomenal.
You can't argue with that goal. It was some strike.
The Newcastle performance was on it. Like, I watched that first half back in full, and we were on it. And the crowd were on it. And that there's so much to be said for that crowd.
I think that's what helps in a big game like that. And
yes.
Let's be honest, what they've been through as a fan base, I think they deserve that one.
Will they go through the group?
I mean, we're top, mate. 4 points, 2 games, Dortmund away. If they can perform like that at home, there's no reason why they can't. Finishing third, on the other hand, is a great opportunity to win the Europa League. Because I'll tell you who's not going to be winning it. Rangers, after their performance on Thursday night.
We'll see you in Dublin. I think it's Dublin.
Well, if it's Dublin, I'm going.
Right, you've played 2 games.
Yeah, we're still getting through.
Saying
we're
that,
the Champions League final.
Saying that, when Rangers got through to the Europa League final, they didn't have the best group stage.
Exactly. Well, they're not this time, are they?
Well, exactly. So maybe a sign of things to come.
One defeat is the worst.
Yes. Well, what's your reflections on the loss in Cyprus?
Don't really want to talk about it.
Well, I'm asking you to talk about it.
Well, no, because I was at football and missed it. I didn't actually watch it. The highlights I did see, I turned off halfway through. Just couldn't put myself through it.
At least he's not going to get the job full time.
Yeah, I mean, well, he was given that team. Do you know what I mean? There was no way. Like, granted, it would have been nice to have a win, but you can't really blame Davis in that situation.
Yes.
However, I did watch the game on Sunday there, and it's a bit more convincing. Zach Lovelace had a good first start, and then obviously he went off injured, and it doesn't look too good for him. Looks to be long term, but I haven't seen the actual confirmation of that yet. And then McCausland came on and played just as well. I would say they were impressive. But then it's this 2 of the young boys coming on and putting in probably the best performances. I think it shows you we need to utilise what we've got instead of sticking with maybe what they think should be the best way forward. I think youth needs to be considered in that case.
I might not see you in Dublin, but to take another wee tangent before we move on, I'll tell you where I will see you for UEFA Euro 2028, which is going to be in the UK and Ireland. There are going to be games in Scotland. There's only the one ground in Scotland, but that's a fantastic result.
Yeah, it's good. I was kind of regretted that there was only one stadium in Scotland, but I think we knew that was always going to happen if it did come off.
You think they go to Ibrox or
So this is
okay.
So obviously the options, there's 4 options in Scotland, which are Hampden, Ibrox, Parkhead and Murrayfield. Now, we all know I'm not a fan of Hampden. I think we're too far away from the pitch. I think it needs some work to get it to standard. Murrayfield I would discount for the same reason. That being, it's too far away from the pitch.
Capacity wise, it was fine when Hearts were there for their wee stint. Well, Tynecastle was. It
hosted Man United Leon in the summer.
That's what I was. Is it not Marseille?
I was pretty sure it was Leon.
It was Leon.
I thought you said Lille. That's why I was confused. Oh well, I don't think you were right. Anyway, yeah, the principal stands. It
hosted that. It's a better stadium to get to for big events than Hampden is. Yeah. In terms of it is walkable from the city centre. There is a tram, and it just but for football, I don't like it, and I don't think they would give it to one of Parkhead and Ibrox and not the other, because that throws up a ton of football politics issues that the SFA don't want to get into.
Yeah, so probably safe.
Because if you're picking one of them, you're picking Parkhead, aren't you? Criteria number 1,
bigger capacity. Yeah, that's the only.
Criteria number 2, you're not relying on the subway to get everyone away.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's games in Cardiff as well. Weirdly, or not weirdly, because it's the only stadium in Wales that's big enough. It's going to be at the Principality, or the Millennium Stadium, as it's formerly known, and not where Wales normally play at Cardiff City. Obviously, neither Cardiff nor Swansea's stadia are big enough for it. Personally, I would have liked to have seen another ground in Scotland and Wales. Aberdeen obviously looking for a new stadium. This might have been an opportunity, but it would have needed to be 30,000, and would they fill it? The other one obviously being potential for a similar type thing at Swansea, but it would need to be 30,000 and would they fill it?
Livery isn't that old, is it?
It's not overly old, but I don't know how much room there is to expand it. There's like a retail park and things nearby.
And I take it Northern Ireland, Swansea Park.
It's Casement Park.
Is it the same
which
thing?
I believe is still being developed.
Oh, didn't know that.
It's still being developed. It's the principal Gaelic ground in Belfast. It's going to be developed to 34,000. It's still not been started yet, and there's rumours already that they're not going to make it. There's bound to be a reserve ground for that. Obviously, it's the Aviva in Dublin. There's going to be games at St James's Park. That's the other kind of Scottish proximate ground. It's not awful. I think it's a better option than the other options in Scotland, really.
Probably. Bigger.
Right in the middle of the city centre. It's not bigger, it's smaller, but
is it?
It's only 52,000. There's rumours they want to expand it to 65.
That's about Ibrox about 52.
Ibrox is bigger than that. But yes.
No, but there's a lot of talk of Rangers getting a bigger capacity. They want to take out the corners, and they're wanting to redevelop the disabled section. But there's talks of them digging down the pitch, but that would take, obviously, you can knock bits out to fill in seats, but digging in the pitch is going to cost more.
Cost more, and Rangers aren't going to be able to play there while the work goes on.
Yeah, exactly. So,
so that's exciting news. 4 years' time, we won't have to go anywhere to watch Scotland. Obviously, there is no. They can only afford up to 2 spots for automatic qualification.
Yeah.
There was a rumour going about that would be given to England and no one else, because England has, 6 out of the 10 stadiums. It's led to be believed that the FA have said they want England to qualify for the tournament normally. So everyone probably would. However, that would probably mean that there was again a rumour that they would offer a backstop. So basically, if so many of the nations failed to qualify, there would be a couple of spots reserved because it was their tournament. But I think that's getting scrapped, because that's basically you didn't qualify, it's fine, and you go anyway. And
get a wee tournament going just between the home nations, and the 2 best teams take it.
But that's how we used to qualify for the World Cup, like way back in the day, like in the 60s. It was the Home Nations Championship that was the qualifying World Cup qualifying spot.
When did it a few years ago? About 10 years ago, did that be?
Would have been about 2008 or 9. They did something like that. Yeah, it was instead of the friendlies, it was like a Nations League.
Just for the 4 home nations, but not England, because they would just win it.
Yeah.
It would of course be. They didn't qualify. So
hey, it would be an absolute travesty for teams to not qualify for that tournament in 4 years. I'd say England probably will. Scotland hopefully will, because we're on their eyes. Ireland are getting there. They've got a lot of good young talent. The other 2, Northern Ireland and especially Wales, are worry.
If Ireland's football team were as good as the rugby team, they'd be absolutely flying.
That is true, but we're gonna keep it on topic. I'm not going to go there. I'm still annoyed about that.
What I was going to say is, and then 2032 Euros is Italy and Turkey,
which is a bit weird because they're not exactly close to one another, but I suppose you don't really need to be.
I don't get it. I mean, I get it. I do get it, but why not pick 2 countries that are close together?
Well, you'd imagine they'd organise it.
Was it not Germany and Austria in like 2008? Or
Switzerland and Austria.
That was it. I knew it was something like that.
I thought it was Germany.
Switzerland and Austria. Germany was 2006 World Cup.
What was it?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
The Euros has a track record of doing that kind of thing. Tends to be countries close to one another. You'd imagine if UEFA were sensible, there would be a Italian path and a Turkish path. You play in one of them, and then the final is somewhere, probably Rome or Istanbul. And that's when you converge. However, it's UEFA, so I'll put some money on them not doing that.
I hope it's in the finals in Italy, and not in Istanbul, because I don't like that stadium that they use for the Champions League final.
Yes, I don't like it either, and it's apparently an absolute pain in the arse to get to. Liverpool fans reported very bad experiences last year.
Yeah, so I think we've covered up there.
So yeah, that's some discussions, and we're going to move on, and it's Kyle's turn for the game this week.
So, game is done by yours truly this week. It's a transfer game because they both love it. So,
Do we?
well, these are both good at it. So,
right.
We'll get straight into it, or
yeah, I think so.
A moment for new viewers. Come on, give a quick summary.
Oh,
yeah, that's true.
Or listeners.
I'll try my best. There's 5 categories. Is it categories? And each one's worth a set amount of points. So it's league. Craig, you can just about it.
And then that way the Doug doesn't have to explain over the top of you as well. Basically, you get 5 clues. You get a reducing number of points for the more information you hear. So you get 5 points for the year and the fee, 4 points for the position, 3 points for the nationality, 2 points for the club they left, 1 point for the club they joined. We both get 1 guess after each clue, and you get a set amount of points. 5 players, go through them. Most points at the end wins. There'll be a tie break if the scores are drawn. Kyle, take it away.
For once, there is some retired players in this.
I think that's probably been before by me because I never really enforced that rule.
I was making it last week. I was close to putting a few retired in, but I decided against it. So maybe it's good that you've done some this week.
Yeah, let's open it up.
You can
just do all attackers like I did last week.
Feel free to ask. You won't get penalised for asking.
I'm enjoying the ELC whiteboard or blackboard as we can see it.
I'll show you more. The first one is 2016 60 million.
2016 60 million. Would that be Gareth Bale?
Would not be.
Edison Cavani.
No. 2016 60 million Brazilian.
That's not the order.
It's nation.
It should be position.
Position. Oh well.
No, it's fine. Well, it's
the
Brazilian.
First.
We'll swap it round.
Donation first once.
Kaká.
No.
David Luiz.
No. 2016 60 million Brazil midfielder. Midfielder.
From Brazil.
Like he was that smart.
60 million.
Yes.
Oscar?
Yes.
Well,
Oscar.
Yeah.
Take note of the scores actually.
I've got a note here as well. It's 3-0.
Lebausch.
I've got the space in this zone,
yeah. Kyle's at the early learning centre trying to work out how to fit in the
No, there's a lot of space on
it. He's got multicoloured chalk sitting next to him.
A big paddling pool full of balls.
A green pen as well, black and green.
Looks like a chalkboard.
There's a whiteboard on the side.
Oh, the answers. I'll see if I can blur it in the edit.
Read my writing.
I was going to say you need handwriting lessons first. It's okay.
No, he needs the handwriting lessons. They need handwriting deciphering lessons.
I've got another one. 2019, 115 million.
Who was this? Who was that?
Mbappe?
No.
Oh, I thought you had it there.
2019, 150.
Who cost that?
15.
115.
15.
Who cost that amount of money?
I wrote it down wrong. I wrote it as $1 billion and 15. So.
I think it's fine. I think we know what you mean.
That's my guess.
My mind has gone absolutely blank. Move on.
2019, 115 million for a Belgian.
Oh, you've done this the wrong way around.
I know. I do apologise.
Eden Hazard.
Yes.
I'm just getting more points.
It's really annoying. Can you not just say it the other way around?
Yeah. I assumed that's what you'd do.
I wasn't listening when you spoke.
So that's the whole thing that I could. I'm joking, it's fine. I wouldn't have got that. I didn't realise he was near enough that much.
It's 4-3.
Neither did I. Yes, it is. Get the
2000
abacus out.
2009, 67 million.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
No.
Kaká.
5.
I put that in his head earlier on.
You did put that in my head earlier on. I was trying to work out if it was the right time for Kaka or not.
Are you on 9?
I am.
9, you're 3. 2022, 20 million.
Sergio Ramos. No,
Yeah.
I did Sergio Ramos last week. Oh.
Dan Burn.
No. 2022, 20 million. Attacker. Happy?
Yes.
20 million for an attacker.
Or,
You
attacker.
say Ian Acho.
No.
No. Jorginho Rutter was more than that, but Jorginho Rutter.
No. 2022, 20 million pounds. Attacker from Germany.
Timo Werner.
3 points.
Was he that cheap? Did Chelsea get rid of him for that cheap?
Yeah. So you shout.
I mean, I gathered that. Final round, Robert. It's all in the bag.
I made I need to have 3 points to get
3
a draw for.
points.
Yeah. I've got a tie break already. So.
3 for a draw.
3 for a draw, 4 for a win.
Okay.
2016 free.
Nice.
Effie Ambrose.
No.
Ian Wilson.
No. 2016 free defender.
What are these?
Defender.
What year was it, sorry?
2016.
This is for the win, Robert.
Right, give me a second. 26.
For
Right,
the
go
win.
2016 free defender.
So vague. I don't know.
That's the point of the game.
Cesar Azpilicueta.
No. This is for the draw, this one.
I don't know. I think
the
guys
draw.
won this one, I think.
2016 free
Yeah.
defender from the Ivory Coast.
Kolo Touré?
3 points. It's a draw.
Yeah. Sorry.
So tiebreaker is.
Yes.
For once, actually,
To be
tiebreaker.
fair, if Greg doesn't win this, it'll be an absolute travesty after getting a 5-pointer.
Well, I've had 2 good guesses and some absolute blanks.
Aye, and I planted the Kaka seed in your head.
I'm sorry. I'm going to wait a minute and work out whose fault that is. It's yours. Carry on.
2016 free.
I was being really nice and giving him lots of credit.
Yeah,
That's what I get
too.
back.
No.
So again, I didn't hear.
2016 for free.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Any guesses?
2016 free. Ian Black.
No.
Let's hear his
2016
name.
free for an attacker.
Francesco Sandaza.
No.
Stephen Dobie.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ah,
Was
you
that back
deserve
to
that
Queens? Was that back to Queens?
Yeah, from Bolton.
Well done, Gregory. So I can't dispute that one.
No, you can't. Lovely job.
Well done.
So
Right.
Stephen taking it home. Into the predictions, I've not had as good a week there. Only 2 points for me last week. 3 for Robert, 4 for Kyle, which is much more impressive, given the fact that only 5 out of the 6 games were played. So 4 out of 5 for Kyle. Bucky versus Brecon was called off due to the weather, but we managed to avoid the other postponements. This week it's Robert's pick, and it's Challenge Cup weekend and international break, so the picks are a bit mad. The first one is Falkirk versus Queen's Park. Falkirk are top and unbeaten in League One. Queen's Park are 7th in the Championship and without a win in 5 league games. They did, however, win against Bala in the Challenge Cup. They drew 0-0 to end the run of losses against bottom side Morton at the weekend.
I think that Falkirk are going to do a wee bit of an upset being the lower league team and win.
I agree. Falkirk win for me.
Draw.
I mean, that's better. Draw for Kyle. Next game is Wraith versus Montrose. Wraith are 2nd in the Championship behind Falkirk by a point. Montrose are 3rd in League One and won 4 of their last 5. I am going for a home Wraith Rovers win.
I'm going to push the boat out with another shock result and a draw.
The Stark Park boys.
Last game of the Challenge Cup is TNS versus East Fife. TNS are top and unbeaten in the Cymru Premiership. 1-9 and drawn 2. East Fife are 8th in League 2 and only 1 win in 5. This is going to be an easy win for TNS.
I too think the Welsh boys, even though they're not Welsh, are going to win.
I think the Saints will go marching in with 3 points, or whatever it is.
Total Network Solutions, a few years ago it was. Actually, I think I should say, I was at the Welsh Premier League, or the Cymru Prem last Friday night. I watched Cardiff Met versus Barry Town. Atmosphere from the away side, not too bad. Quality of football, pretty terrible. Highlight for me included the tallest target man with the worst heading I've ever seen since I stopped playing.
I have a highlight of one of the photos that you sent me of the ground. Was the flag that had the word flag on it.
Yes, I'm very confused by that. Quality of football, pretty terrible. Highlight of the night, a handball penalty shout and us going, that's surely a penalty, and the fourth official turning around to us and casually just raising his eyebrows and walking away.
We don't do walking away.
League 2, next game, Notts County versus Mansfield. Notts County are top with 24 points from 12 games. Mansfield are 5th, but they're unbeaten this season. They've won 4 and drawn 8. Their last 2 games have both been 0-0 draws. 1-4 and drawn 8 is a ridiculous record.
Make it 9 draws.
I think 9 as well.
I'm not going to lie, I completely zoned out there. Mansfield, I'm pushing the boat out this week.
Marilyn Mansfield.
My AirPod is making a rather...
Sorry, I quite enjoyed Marilyn Mansfield. I'm now imagining all of Mansfield Town's players dressed as emos with different contact lenses. League 2 is Wrexham versus Salford. Wrexham were the team that drew 0-0 with Mansfield at the weekend. They're 7th, but have only won 2 of the last 5 games. Salford are 13th, but have won 3 in a row. It's the battle of the League 2 bankroll.
That's why I picked it. Draw.
Wrexham won for me.
I think
on the Welsh boys.
Wrexham 2.
And the last game is Bulgaria versus Lithuania in the Euro qualifiers, Group G. It's the battle at the bottom. Both teams on 2 points after 5 games. They drew with each other. Bulgaria also got their other point against Serbia. Lithuania got theirs against Montenegro. Bulgaria win.
Wait, no. Draw.
Clock is ticking.
Right, well, if he's going to draw, I'll go Lithuania.
Reviews, I looked at the last pick.
No, that's what I was doing. I always pick first or second.
Yes, so that is that. I've once again looked at my predictions and realised I've picked 5 out of 6 home wins and 1 draw. So I think I've got another bad week on the cards. But before we go, what else do we have to do?
I'm not going yet. I've still got my FPL update.
That's what I mean. Before we go,
We have to.
Yes,
Yes,
right.
we do.
Congratulations. It's not changed yet. Kyle Fagan's still top. Keep it up, big man. Greg went up to 2nd. He looks happy.
James Madison.
Cyril Brendan Dew is in 3rd. Well done to you as well, making it into the top 3. Kyle's dropped to 10th. And I have dropped to 15th, but I'm not shocked about that. So, yeah.
Other highlight of the weekend, FPL wise for me, was replacing Areola with Turner in goals and cheering the whole way through Crystal Palace Nottingham Forest for a clean sheet.
Well, you're doing quite well, Greg, I have to say.
We're getting there.
I've always been rubbish at this, so... And I can't even use the excuse of, I don't change my team, because I have this year.
You just put the same players that everyone else has in it. You just filter by selected.
See, that's boring.
No,
It is boring. The thing is, you need to have a couple that are different, and it's the ones that are different. Like, everyone has Haaland. It's the ones that are different that where the points are really won. I see some people gambled on Saka starting this weekend. I swapped him out for some James Madison action.
I swapped, actually. I took Saka off as my vice, I think.
So
Yeah.
Watkins did bugger all.
I can't even tell you who I changed. I definitely changed it, but I can't tell you off the top of my head who I made it.
I'm sitting in the time.
I made Son my captain and Haaland was my vice.
That's not a bad shout. Spurs were playing Luton. It was just only a 1-0 win for them. That is us for this week.
Yeah, thanks very much for listening. So this has been a treat, and it's coming out on Wednesday, so keep your eyes peeled for Friday.
Yes.
Thank you very much for listening. See you later.
Ta-ra.
Speed.